I was the only president in decades that didn't have a war, but I completed wars that were already started, including defeating 100% of the ISIS caliphate. 100%. I was also the only president where Russia didn't take over a country during my term. Russia took over not because I got along with Vladimir Putin very well. I say, Vladimir, don't do it. You know, you and I are friends. Don't take over any countries because, you know, Moscow will be hit very hard. Well, I told him things. He probably didn't believe it, but you know what? He believed it 10%. And President Xi believed it when I talked about Beijing. He didn't do anything. It's true. It's true. You have no idea. These conversations, I wish they could have been recorded, actually. People would think a lot of me. But with Bush, they invaded Georgia, right? With Obama, they took Crimea. With Biden, they're trying to take everything. And he won't even know they took it. Sure. Thank you. And with me, they took nothing. Nothing. And I didn't really even have to threaten them very much. They understood me very well. I wanted them to understand me very well. They knew that they couldn't do it. Putin knew that. President Xi knew it too. Likewise, China now has its eyes strongly focused on Taiwan. And we could soon have a nuclear-armed Iran. That's the saddest thing of all, though, when we talk about Iran. That's the saddest thing when you see I had them in a box. I said to China, you can't buy any oil from Iran. They said, no, we have to buy. We buy millions of barrels a year. And I said, you can't buy. You have to buy from somebody else. No, we'll buy. I said, good. We're not going to do any more trading with China. We're going cold turkey. We will promise you not to buy from Iran. Okay, that was the end of that. You know, that was a conversation I had. I said, if you buy from Iran any oil, we're not going to do any business. Or if for some reason we do, we're going to put 100% tariff on every single thing that you sell into the United States. And they didn't buy any oil. And nobody was buying oil, and they were in a position, had the election not turned out the way it did, they were in a position where they were going to give us everything. We were going to make a great deal. But now they're rich again. China is buying unlimited amounts of oil from Iran, unlimited amounts, and other places. And we've done something else that's terrible. From the time I'm a young man, I learned never allow Russia and China to get together, to wed. Never, ever allow it. And we've not only allowed it, we've made them bosom buddies. We've made them, we forced them together. And you can add another group in there, a nuclear-armed Iran. So the three of them are now together. That should have never been allowed to happen, would have never happened with me. And it was all over oil, our stupid oil policy. We're not going to drill. We have more oil in the United States than any country in the world, including Saudi Arabia. People don't realize it. In Alaska, I approved a site. We all know what the site is. Probably the biggest in the world. And the Democrats said, no, it's over. They turned it down. Ronald Reagan tried to do it. Every president, Republican, and some Democrats tried to do it. They couldn't get it done. I got it done. And the first day in office, the Secretary of the Interior for Biden signed off on it where they're going to not allow it to happen. Bigger, probably, than Saudi Arabia. And if we had that, without even my talking to Putin, oil would have been at $40, $35, maybe $30 a barrel. So he wouldn't have even had the money to prosecute a war against Ukraine. He wouldn't have done it anyway, and that's not even what I'm saying from previous, but he wouldn't have had the money even if he wanted to. Ukraine would have been thriving. There would have been no dead people, and there would have been no obliterated cities that can never be rebuilt. Can never rebuild those cities. Russia never would have pulled the trigger. This is the most dangerous time in the history of our country, and Joe Biden is leading us into oblivion.